Okay, it's time to make another breakfast. This is an actual breakfast because it's breaking my fast of 48 hours. It's a little bit more food than I'd normally eat, but we're going to start with some egg whites, and we're going to get about 100 grams in there very carefully, just a drop more, and there we go. Then we've got some butter. We're adding exactly 28 grams of butter, which is way more butter than I needed. Then we're going to add 2 medium-sized eggs as well because I like the yolks. They add a good flavor, good healthy fat, lots of vitamins, lots of minerals. Just a delicious, delicious thing to have every day. Then we're going to scroll on over here. Turn off the scale, turn the camera, spin around, and we're going to start mixing. We're going to get the heat turned on the eggs. We're going to get the whisk in there, and we're going to whisk away. And we just going to keep mixing. We're going to keep mixing until our arm falls off. Now would probably be a good time to mention that we started in a cold pot with cold eggs and cold butter, and we put them on a cold stove and then turned it on low. The reason for this is because we want to incorporate that butter slowly into the eggs and make sure that it all mixes good and makes them fatty and salty and delicious. This also means that you're going to be mixing slowly for a long time. Now we're getting the scale out of the way so that we can make room for our knife and prepare for what we're putting in these scrambled eggs. The last several times I've done it fast, I've ended it with some chorizo sausage somewhere in the breakfast. And this is going to be no different. So you'll see here we've got our chorizo sausage. We're going to pull out 2 of those links and chop them up and throw them all over the stovetop. And we're going to cut them again in half so they're nice little bite-sized pieces. And we're letting our eggs just kind of sit over there and come to temperature. They're all mixed, they're all good, the butter's all dissolved into them. And we're going to get back to mixing a little bit. And mixing and mixing. If you can't tell by the video, it's been sped up a little bit during the mixing process because I didn't want the video to be 25 minutes long. And we're mixing. We've switched to the rubber spatula because the eggs are starting to solidify a little bit, and we're going to scrape them off the edges and the bottoms and everything. And we're going to try to keep them moving for the most part so that they don't get stiff or dry out in any of the places. So we keep those nice, soft, fluffy, moist eggs. Now they've come together just enough, we're going to add our sausage. These are pre-cooked sausage, so we don't really have to do anything but get them up to temperature. We're going to add a little bit of chili powder for flavor. And then we're going to mix a little bit more. And a little bit more. We're going to fold the eggs and the sausages together. And we're going to make this deliciousness. Now it's probably about time to pull these off of the heat because they are almost done, and that pot will continue to cook them for a few seconds longer. We'll set them over here while we go and get some more stuff. All right, and we have retrieved our plate, hopefully. Some point, and we also got our tater rounds. I did not look at the package on tater rounds, but did you know that per serving of 12 rounds is about 170 calories? Yeah, most of that's fat too. It's not even carbs like you would expect. And I air fried them. It's not added oil to that number. It's just 170 for the little taters out of the freezer bag. We dumped our delicious eggs on there, and look how nice they just pour over those rounds. I think next time I'm going to make it with toast because it would just be better all the way around with toast. Toast has less calories, less fat, less carbs, and would just be more filling. We're going to top it with some cheese because I don't think I've added enough stuff to this plate. And a little bit of picante sauce. Isn't that pretty? And here's the magic, weighing in at 1,088 calories, 41 grams of protein, 40 carbs, and 83.7 grams of fat. Yes, sir. Look at the tots and the eggs and the picante sauce and the cheese. It's just wonderful.